Massa. And from the College of Southern Nevada, Wyatt Netherstone. And the manager of the Boulder Collegians, Matt Sena. Your 2018 Boulder Hometown Collegians.
Welcome into Boulder Collegians Baseball here on YouTube, wherever you can find the Collegians. We are on the Boulder Collegians YouTube page, brand new and set up. Make sure you like and subscribe. I am Jake Shapiro alongside Patrick Lyons, bringing you coverage of Boulder Collegians Baseball this season. And we are so excited for today. We've got the Boulder Collegians against the Denver Browns. But before we get into this game, we've got to stand for the national anthem.
What so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Sam Hardy.
Back with Patrick Lyons. I am Jake Shapiro. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast of Boulder Collegians Baseball. Tonight we've got the Collegians against the Browns. The Collegians in white and red with white and red caps, red stirrups with blue stripes, and a lot of dark cleats. For the Browns, they are in brown and white tops with white pants, brown stirrups, and dark shoes. Patrick, this is a matchup for the Collegians where it's their home opener here at Scott Carpenter Park, and they're playing a unique group of guys over there for the Denver Browns in the first base dugout.
Yeah, this is a very polished Denver Browns team. They've traveled all over. This is actually only their first game since Mother's Day. They did have a rain out recently on Memorial Day, so they might be a little bit rusty coming out of the box here to start off. But this is a very notable team in the NABA, and they'll be here again for the 4th of July tournament that we've got going on here in Boulder. And it'll also be their 6th straight year visiting the NABA tournament down in Phoenix, Arizona. So this is an experienced club full of players that have been around the block, and we're really excited to be playing them today.
The Browns are a semi-professional baseball team. This is an exhibition. League play starts tomorrow right here at 6:30 at Scott Carpenter Park. We'll have that broadcast once again for you, same place, same time. I guess not same time, a half hour later, but same place. And Patrick, right now we see the managers exchanging lineups. We've got a pretty interesting manager this year for the Boulder Collegians.
Yeah, Matt Sena, this will be his 2nd year as a manager for the Boulder Collegians. It's his 7th year as a coach with the Collegians, and it's his 10th year as a coach overall. We talked to him before the game, a little bit about what we were going to expect to see from starting pitcher Joe Milano, who's a local boy here, and we got the umpires too. Behind the home plate is Mark Moffitt. In the bases, we're going to have Dan Weigel.
Let's look at the starting pitchers for tonight. For the Collegians, as you mentioned, it's Joe Milano. For the Browns, we will see Steve Riley, who will wear number 34. But as the Collegians get set to take the field for the first time here at Scott Carpenter Park for the first time, let's go around the horn and tell you about who is playing where. At first, we are pitching for the Collegians is Joe Milano, as we mentioned. He is a local boy from Louisville, Colorado, went to Centaurus. He's got a mid-80s fastball, and he can catch. He actually caught in high school, so he's got a short arm slot, so we'll be watching that for the deception of Milano. He's a freshman out of Dodge City Community College. Over on the for the Collegians at catcher, we have number 10, that's Mark Gohart. First for the Collegians, we have number 8, Joe Gioso. At second base is Bryce Bullock, number 24. At shortstop for the Collegians this afternoon is Andrew Kasich, number 23. Give us the outfield, Patrick.
Absolutely. From left to right on your radio dial, we've got Dave Neal out in left field, center fielder Nico Nincy, and in right field, Andrew Meadows, number 2, the leadoff hitter.
For the Collegians this inning, we will see Jordan Burns, the shortstop, lead off, followed by Trent Cutler, the third baseman. Trent Cutler, he is the second baseman tonight. He's wearing number 5. That's my hiccup. Hunter Brown, who is in center, will bat third, and cleanup is Matt Jarebko, number 19. Milano getting his warm-ups in. He's a bigger player for the Collegians. They've got a lot of big pitchers this year, and that's the strength of their team. Milano from the right side at 6'2", 225 pounds, bats right-handed as well. This year at Dodge City, he played in 14 games, started once, through 16 innings, 23 hits, 21 runs, 19 earned, and 24 strikeouts versus 13 walks. So he's certainly familiar with the strikeout. Opponents batted .333 against him, and this is awful nice for him coming back to his home field, or one of his home fields, right here in Boulder, Colorado, just in his backyard. Milano, see him throw a curveball right here. He's got some nice breaking stuff as well, and we're getting ready for Boulder Collegians baseball here in 2018, and you can feel it in the crowd. A sizable crowd for this Thursday night, about 200 people in attendance, and make sure you come out to Scott Carpenter Park because it is a blast coming out to these Collegians games. Who's calling balls and strikes behind the plate tonight?
We've got Mark Moffitt behind the plate, and in the field we've got a veteran umpire by the name of Dan Weigel. They were very nice to talk with us just before the beginning of the game, and I was be prepared to give them a full spiel about why we will not be criticizing them too harshly here in this game, and that we just want to call it fair and straight down the middle for them.
I want to give a special thank you to Jesse Gannon, who is running camera for us tonight, and that was a big help. So Milano gets ready to take the first pitch of the home slate for the Collegians here in Boulder, Colorado in this 2018 season, facing Jordan Burns of the Denver Browns, number 22. Milano from the windup deals a high fastball towards the face of Burns.
First pitch, 6:09, 85 degrees here in Boulder, Colorado at Scott Carpenter Park.
A beautiful evening. Milano's second pitch. This one smoked into left field. It's going to get down. Fielded in center by Nensi. He throws it in, stretching for the double, and he will get under it. That is Burns with a stretch double and a great slide there.
Yeah, the throw looked like it beat him there in time. Second baseman Bullock got turned around a little bit, applied a little bit of a late tag, allowing Burns to get in for the double.
Yeah, Bullock was facing the wrong way. Now batting for the Browns is number 5, Trent Cutler, who will be playing second tonight for Mike Unosco's squad. From the stretch now, Milano checks back at the bag at second and then deals a fastball that's in there for a strike.
Should be noted that Bullock is playing out of position. Third base seems to be his strongest spot in the infield, but we're going to be seeing him a lot this season going all around that infield for the Collegians.
That's one of the things that the Collegians like to do as the 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch makes it 1-1, is we've seen this over the years with the Boulder Collegians. They let their players play kind of wherever they want to in summer ball. They want them to have a good summer, and that's part of it, trying some new positions. Of course, one of the Rockies, Charlie Blackmon, famously duped his coach into thinking he was a hitter when he was a pitcher at Georgia Tech, as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. And that's how Blackmon turned into a hitter as he got hot down in Texas and went back to Georgia Tech and was drafted in the second round as an outfielder.
Milano climbing the ladder on that third pitch of the sequence, getting Cutler to swing.
On 1-2, the first 2-strike pitch of the evening. Milano comes set, checks second. Nobody holding the runner on. He'll get a bigger lead. Milano then deals. It's a breaking ball low towards third, and that one goes foul. And in front of us now are General Manager Matt Jensen's daughters having some fun ice cream. What's a baseball game without ice cream?
Yeah, they've got a lot of setup around here for kids and adults alike. We've got a beer garden, some wonderful food. We had burgers right before the game. Absolutely delicious. Recommend getting one with cheese. They do a nice job over there, those chefs.
You recommend cheeseburgers?
Yes, it's a stretch.
Hot take there, bud. Milano, the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Swung on and missed by Cutler.
Big out there. First one of the inning. The runner on scoring position there. That'll bring number 44, Hunter Brown, up to the plate. Left-handed hitter. Excuse me, right-handed hitter. Just going to take a single to score him from second base.
Runner on second. Milano with one out. Check the runner slowly and then delivers. That's a breaking ball, strike 1 on the inside. Joe Milano wearing number 21 this afternoon. Will wear it all season. Those beautiful red stirrups. Comes set. Holds the ball high in his hand. Throws the 0-1 pitch, and that one's inside. A heater. And the runner hanging out there at second. That is Jordan Burns, who had a double. 0-0 here in the top of the first. And Milano's 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled back to the screen. You hear it rattle our shotgun mic.
Milano looks comfortable up there. Again, runner in scoring position on second base. Potential to give up the first run of the ball game, but Milano is worried about the batter, which is what you hope for out of your starting pitcher. Just go ahead after those batters, first time through the order, not really worry about anybody on base.
Last time Milano got into a 2-strike count, it was a foul ball, then a strikeout. This time, strike 3 on the curveball. That one dropped and then tagged out by the catcher for the Collegians, number 2, Growler.
Collegians catcher Mark Ulart caught 14 innings back on Tuesday night when they played against a team down in Colorado Springs, the Colorado Cutthroats. Right now, the Collegians are currently waiting for their other catcher, who was part of the Junior College World Series as a part of Barton Community College.
That's Brett Boner, so right now, Mark Goulart is the only catcher on the Collegians roster, and he's going to get a heavy dose of work in to start this season. Milano starts this at bat off with a ball. This one is to Matt Jarebker.
Nice off-speed pitch, low and inside. Couldn't get a swing out of the cleanup hitter, Jarebker.
(1-0) against the third baseman. This one's drilled into right field sky high, tracking back and over his head. This one's going to be down for a double at the very least, and it scores the first Browns run of the evening. That one got past Meadows and Wright, who's got a lot of range. I thought he had a chance at that ball, but no dice as Jarebker will double and give the Browns a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
That was a very hard-hit ball directly at Meadows, but it had that spin on it. So Meadows had to turn a little bit right, turn a little bit left, got caught up there, but ultimately the ball was over his head for that RBI double.
I was talking to one of the Collegians this afternoon, and he told me not to say this on the broadcast as Matt Huggins steps in for the Browns, takes the first ball. He told me not to say this afternoon on the broadcast, but he felt as though the Collegians would get down in this game, then come back and win. I don't know why you would say that, but that was maybe just what came through him, and that's what he said. And that's the situation the Collegians are now in, down in the first inning. Second pitch is high. Hard fastball that just missed. A little bit high against Huggins.
You got to remember, a lot of these players are only 18, 19 years old. So some of them might be dreaming with illusions of grandeur about having that big first win here at home, coming from behind with a late victory.
Third pitch of the at-bat is ball 3 from Joe Milano.
Milano having a little bit of difficulty finding the strike zone after doing a pretty nice job through the first 4 batters of the game. after that first pitch by Bruns, the double. He started off 2 batters with a strike, and 2 batters with a ball.
The 3-0 pitch, and that one misses. Oh, maybe it didn't. That was a late strike called, and Huggins will step back into the box after taking a few towards first base, and he will have 3-1.
Goulart did a nice job of framing that ball, bringing it back in the strike zone, catching the bottom outside corner. 1-0 here in the top of the first. Browns ahead of the Collegians.
2 hits on the board. The 3-1 pitch is a fastball fouled off behind us towards Arapahoe, the street. And we will have 3-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Collegians have a nice fast lineup going today, so you definitely don't want to get behind too early. But we're going to be playing 9 games here at Scott Carpenter Park, so 1 run certainly is not that much of a deficit.
Huggins on the 3-2. He strikes out, and Milano strikes out the side in the top of the first after allowing 1 run. Collegians head back to the dugout. They'll get their first at-bats of the game. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Collegiate fans, follow the Boulder Collegians on social media to stay up to date with all things Boulder Collegians. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook. And stay tuned for a social media contest later in tonight's game. Also, make sure you stop by the concession stand. You can enter our contest to win a Collegians prize pack.
Your mom got your shoes, okay, hon?
Back for the bottom of the first at Scott Carpenter Park. It's opening night here for the Boulder Collegians, who trail 1-0 after the top of the first. On the mound for the Denver Browns is Steve Riley. Behind the plate for the Browns, well,
Preston Riley, no relation, different spellings.
that's what I was getting to. Well, it's Preston Riley, but they're not related. 2 different Rileys. And then take us around the infield, Patrick, as we get our leadoff batter right now, Meadows, stepping to the plate.
From right to left around the infield, first base, Connor Messenger. Second base, Trent Cutler. At shortstop, Jordan Bruns. And at third
Meadows
base,
hits it to short right now. Bruns will come up with it and throws to first, and Meadows beats it out on the ground ball to short. Softly hit, and that benefited him. So just as you were saying, the shortstop, keep bringing us around.
Jordan Bruns is the shortstop there. Third base, we've got Matt Jarebker. Left field, Matt Barker. At center, Hunter Brown. At right field, we've got Matt Huggins, the number 5 hitter.
So Meadows on first, Riley the left-hander for the Browns. Getting ready to face number 8 of the collegiate. I'm sorry, that's the center fielder, number 4, Netzi.
Nico was a late addition to the Collegians out of Adams State. Last year he was with Northeastern Junior College up in Sterling.
The big lefty kicks and deals, and this one's wild, booted by the catcher, and we'll score that a wild pitch as it moves up Meadows to second.
Meadows being very advantageous there. The ball just sneaked away from catcher Riley, but Meadows got some very fast speed out there. Took second base.
The 1-0 pitch, that one's a high off-speed pitch. Netzi sits on it and will look for the third pitch of the bat. Steps back in. Big lefty with his left forearm swinging over the mound. Will come set. We'll look to see if Meadows wants to steal third here, and that's what Riley was thinking, because Riley tried the slow pickoff move the other way. It's easier to steal third when there's a lefty on the bump, and Meadows has a lot of speed. I actually shagged balls with him yesterday playing BP, and Meadows has a lot of range. This one, a fast move over to second base, a daylight play, and Meadows slides back in safely, head first.
Yeah, certainly an advantage with a lefty on the hill, but there's also a left-handed hitting Nincy up there at the plate, so the catcher Riley is going to have a much more easier view down there of third base, shuttling it down to the third baseman, Jarebker.
The 2-0 pitch, that's a fastball down the middle that Netzi takes for a strike.
One nothing here in the bottom of the first. Browns with the lead against Boulder Collegians.
The 2-1 pitch is a curveball that was attempted to hit into the pool past right field, but it started a cold front that's headed down to Denver with that swing from Netzi.
Riley does not flash overpowering speed, so Nincy's just going to have to sit back on that off-speed pitch. It's going to be a ball down and away outside the zone. We're loaded up, full count here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Browns. Meadows takes the lead off of second base. Riley gets the sign from Riley.
Riley's 3-2 pitch with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Netzi will take a ball, that's ball 4, and he heads to first base. And that'll leave 2 men on for Bryce Bullock, the UNLV product.
Number 24, Bryce Bullock.
You often see when players get the opportunity to come up in the inning after they maybe made a defensive flub. Certainly Bullock did not do that. Got turned around a little bit there in the top of the first, but Bullock have an opportunity to go ahead and tie the game up for the Collegians with a nice little single.
You wonder if Bullock will even attempt a bunt here, just because there are 2 men on with no outs. Try to move both up into scoring position. This one, definitely not a bunt, as he tries to hit it skyward, and it's strike 1.
Riley definitely will be able to throw all 9 innings here today, as he's not doing too much wear and tear on his arm with his off-speed pitches. Could be quite an advantage against these young, aggressive hitters.
Fake pickoff move, no throw that time. 2 men on. Bullock at the plate, 6'2", 180-pound infielder from Las Vegas, Nevada, not just playing college ball there. Batting from the right side, looking at this 0-1 pitch, and that one is low and inside. A breaking pitch he'll take for a ball, 1-1.
You mentioned shagging fly balls with some of the players yesterday during media day. Got to talk with Bullock a little bit about growing up in Las Vegas, and he had a lot of very interesting stories about the Golden Knights.
Bullock's 1-1, and that one's taken. 2-1. Riley's put himself into a bad spot with 2 men on, no outs, and a 2-1 count to the Collegians' 3-hole hitter.
Meadows with a big lead off of second base now.
2-1 pitch is taken inside, 3-1. Nico Nitze, who is on first base for the Collegians, saw walk last time against Riley. That's how he got on. Riley trying to avoid 2 straight walks. This one's fouled into the Collegians' dugout down the third base side. Everyone appears to be okay. We'll see 3-2.
Yeah, with a full count and the junk baller, if you will, Steve Riley on the hill, Bullock definitely has to be sitting back on that back foot there, waiting for some off-speed stuff. He's got quick hands. He can slap it opposite field if he does get fooled.
The 3-2 is high, and Riley has walked 2 straight. Coming to the plate for the Collegians now
Number 8
is number 8, the first baseman, Gioso.
Yeah, Gabe was launching some balls out in batting practice yesterday. Flashes the most power out of any player here for the Collegians, out of St. Mary's College, first baseman number 8.
Gabe just a freshman at 6'3", 210 pounds, certainly a big boy. plays first base and can pitch a bit from the left side as a pitcher, so he throws left, bats right, and he takes this first pitch for a strike.
Riley really pumped that one in there on the inside corner for strike one.
Riley back in the windup now that the bases are loaded. Second pitch is taken for a ball, 1-1.
Preston Riley did a nice job behind the plate, keeping that ball in front of him.
Yeah, Preston's certainly getting his work in back there. The 1-1 pitch from Austin Riley, or Steve Riley, rather. I'm sorry, I've got my Rileys confused. And that one's a strike down the middle on the outside. That'll be 1-2.
Riley was saving his fastball, looks like. He's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches during the first part of this bottom of the first. He's ratcheting it up with his fastball now.
The 3-2 pitch is lined into center, and this one's going to score at least 2. Rounding third is Bullock, and he gets in there safely. And Gioso's got a double, which scores 2 for the Collegians, and they're back on top 2-1 here in the bottom of the first.
Nice line drive right back up the middle, just behind the starting pitcher, Stephen Riley. Strong throw in from the center fielder, Hunter Brown. Ultimately could not get Bullock as he slid in safely to third base. And Gioso, opportunistic, moves up to second base. 2-1 Collegians here in the bottom of the first. Still nobody out. The number 5 hitter, left fielder, Dave Neal, up at the plate.
I'm calling that a double, Patrick. I don't care what the official scorer says. Neal, the first pitch to him, is taken for a strike down the middle, and Riley, trying to get back right, has yet to record an out as we're at the 5th hitter in the Collegians lineup. The 0-1. Fastball high and fouled down the first base line out of the park. And you hear General Manager Matt Jensen yelling to hopefully not hit his car. The parking lot is located right there. That's the features of this park. We've got a parking lot in dead center, a skate park to the left, and a water park towards the right, or just a pool, whatever you want to call it, as the 0-2 pitch is a curveball low. So it's really a community park feel here. You can hit it into a bunch of different locations, which has prompted a couple questions from the guys. What is your home run call, depending on which part of the outfield it lands on? And I think I've got to work on that, Patrick.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun calling from left to right all the various different opportunities where the ball gets hit.
The 1-2 is fouled back and caught by Riley, and that will go for the first out of the Collegians here. That's a strikeout on the foul tip to David Neal.
Number 10, Mark Goulart.
2-1 Collegians here in the bottom of the first. Goulart looking to drive in some runs here. He's got an opportunity with a base hit. Could possibly score 2, like his St. Mary's College teammate Gabe Gioso did in his first at-bat.
Goulart, the right-handed batter, high chopper to short. It's going to be played on and thrown to first, and 2 Collegians are caught at third base. They're in a rundown. Now the lead runner is going to try to score. He does, and the Browns won't get an out of this. So a ground ball hit to short by Mark Goulart. Bullock and Gioso, some miscommunication, but Bullock ends up scoring, and Gioso makes his way to third.
Yeah, I think Gioso was confused and thought there might have been 2 outs in that inning. Started running down to third base, which forced Bullock to maybe dance off the bag a little bit. And when Gioso ran back to second, that got quite a pickle, and shortstop Bruns took his eye off the ball, allowing Bullock to score the 3rd run of the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Gioso ran right in front of Bruns. That was an odd play.
Goulart happy at the opportunity to get his first RBI. Shortstop Addison Cash, number 23, steps into the plate, the right-handed hitter.
Takes ball 2, yep. Addison Cash at the plate. Mark Taylor on deck. 2 gone in the bottom of the first. 3-1 Collegians. Right-handed batter takes a strike to make it 2-1.
Should be noted that both the Collegians and the Browns are hitting 10 batters here with 2 DHs. Again, it is an exhibition game, so rules like this kind of get around it just a little bit.
Riley's 2-1 is squibbed over to first base, and that will go foul And thankfully for the Collegians, Cash will see another pitch.
Yeah, he squibbed the ball down the first base line over to first base coach Jeremy Katz, who's also a strength and training coach here for the Collegians.
Riley's 2-2 with 2 outs from the windup. Getting set on that left side. A pitch, it's a breaking ball and fouled off in first base territory.
3-1 Collegians here in the bottom of the first inning, thanks to a Gabe Gioso 2-run double to center field, which scored Meadows and Nincy. 2-2 count here to Kosh.
Addison Kosh at the plate. The lefty, Riley, winds up, kicks, deals. It's a breaking ball, fouled off once again. Thankfully, I saw a couple guys bringing in a fresh bucket of balls to the stadium this afternoon. Looks like they're going to need it. We're seeing some foul balls already to start this game. Riley again with the 2-2. This one roped into right field, gets over the first baseman and second baseman's head, and Cash has himself an RBI single, driving in Gioso.
Yeah, much like that foul ball that we saw 2 pitches earlier, Kosh kind of blooped the ball over the first baseman's head, allowing first baseman Gabe Gioso to score for the Collegians, bringing the score to 4-1 for the Collegians over the Denver Browns here. Stepping into the box, number 9 DH, Mark Taylor out of Chico State.
Mark Taylor not only going to Chico State, but from Chico, California. Spent some time with him yesterday. He's a freshman there, plays first base, 6'2", 200 pounds. A lot of these guys, some big ball players. Pickoff move to first, almost gets the Collegian out there, that's Cash. And the shortstop of the Browns ran in thinking he had finished the inning, but the umpire disagrees out there. That is Dan Weigler.
A nice pickoff move by the left-handed Riley.
This one chopped over to third base. The third baseman comes in, charges, and makes the play. Taylor will be out, and a nice play by Jarebker. We'll go to the top of the second. Collegians leading 4-1 after 1 inning of play.
Fans, the Boulder Collegians have partnered with different local breweries throughout the season. Tonight's featured brewery is Bootstrap Brewery. Check them out at their locations in both Longmont and Niwot. And make sure you stop by the beer garden throughout the game. Pick up a wonderful, delicious beer, which goes just great with baseball. Number 20, Foes.
Top of the second inning, Boulder Collegians ahead 4-1 with the DH Jason Phobes, number 20, left-handed hitter, stepping into the box against righty Joe Milano.
Milano's first pitch of the inning is a fastball outside, and that one's called a strike. Milano had a really nice first inning after the RBI double. He had 3 strikeouts, including a 6 slider to strike out the second baseman Huggins. Second pitch is another fastball away, and that one goes for strike 2.
Yeah, Milano features a nice plus fastball here with changeup, slider. Again, you got a Division I catcher from St. Mary's behind the plate, calling a nice game so far.
Curveball that doesn't break there. It appeared from Milano. And it's 1-2. Jake Shapiro, Patrick Lyons, Jesse Gannon on camera this afternoon. The 1-2. Fastball high.
So far this spring in 4 games, Phobes is batting a low .211. Again, it is early in the season and 19 at-bats. He does have a homer and 8 RBIs to his name thus far.
2-2 is high, and Milano doesn't want to lose him now, and the catcher back there for the Collegians is having some issues. We're seeing some issues from Goulart getting the ball back to Milano. The 3-2 pitch, and that's a beautiful fastball on the outside, and that will go for strike 3. 4 strikeouts already for Milano through just 4 outs of play.
First baseman number 3, Connor Messenger, steps into the box in 12 at-bats so far during the spring. He is 4 for 12 with a .333 batting average thus far. Takes an off-speed changeup on the inside corner for ball 1.
Messenger on the right side. Milano, the righty, kicks and deals, and that's a fastball in the zone.
Milano really got behind that one. Goulart did a nice job framing it right there on the inside corner.
Milano's 1-1 pitch. That one is swung on, and it'll go foul into left. That one was high skied from Messenger.
This is a veteran team of Browns players that have played together for a few years. They don't have a very deep bench, but their starters do play their hardest and are looking so far pretty good statistically early in the season.
Milano's 1-2. This one's chopped into the Collegians' dugout on the third base side, and seeing foul ball after foul ball.
We've got to be breaking into our 3rd box of pearls by this point.
Milano ahead 1-2. Collegians ahead 4-1. Top of the second, Milano's 1-2 pitch. That one, a high chop again down the third baseline. That one goes foul.
Messenger having a hard time straightening this one out as he keeps yanking it down that third base line. Third baseman Danny David Linehan stretches just a little bit closer to the line with each and every pitch.
The righty, Milano, 1-2. Fastball low. This one's hitting the play. The shortstop for the Collegian comes up with the ball, throws on to first, and that one isn't out. Nice play there from Addison Kosh.
Nice footwork by Kosh, number 23. Great distribution from glove to hand as he fired over to the first baseman, Gioso, for the second out here of the game, here in the top of the second. First ball put in play, too.
Well, first ball put in play, that's an out. There have been 2 doubles by the Browns, but Milano's got to be kicking himself that he's not going to be a 27 strikeout guy. He's no longer on pace for 27 strikeouts. Milano will deal a ball, and it's 1-1. I really like Mark Goulart's catcher's gear. He's got the American flag kind of draped over his catcher's gear. It's very good looking. 1-1 pitch is a fastball outside, and that one will put Preston Riley down 1-2. I'm sorry, Matt Barker down 1-2.
A lot of left-handed hitters in this lineup for the Browns.
1-2 pitch is taken for a ball. Matt Barker was drafted to play pro ball many years ago. This pitch outside, 3-2 now. Milano has an issue to walk. Barker's originally from Niwot, I believe. Now playing for the Denver Browns. Very nice brown and white uniforms with a couple of stripes. Milano trying to go clean here in the second inning. 3-2 pitch, and that one will go for called strike 3 of Matt Barker. 4-1 Collegians after the top of the second. We'll pick it back up in the bottom of the second, right here on YouTube.
And we've got our dizzy band winner. Number 1, Danny David Linehan.
Back for the bottom of the second, Danny David Linehan stepping in against Steve Riley. Linehan with the Collegians up 4-1. First pitch is grounded to third base. An easy play there for Matt Gerberker, and he will throw over to first.
That'll bring DH Marcus Altman to the plate. Number 22, the second DH of the game that the Collegians are rolling out from Fort Hays State University in Kansas, the sophomore. 6'2", 195 pounds, and is a big Kansas City Royals fan.
Riley with his pitch. A off-speed one that falls into the strike zone.
4-1 Boulder Collegians here over the Denver Browns here in the bottom of the second.
Riley winds and deals, and this one's fouled back to the screen, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Riley. This one an off-speed pitch that goes wide, and it's watched for ball. Altman chops this one to third base. The pitcher Riley can't get this. Gerberker throws across the field and will come up with the play. A nice grab there by the third baseman.
Jerebker made a nice job getting around the pitcher who had slid to try to get it. Ultimately did not, and a bare hand by Jerebker fired over to first base to get out the speedy Marcus Altman. That'll bring number 2, Andrew Meadows, to the plate, the right fielder out of Alcorn State University.
Last time up, he singled, moved to second on a wild pitch, moved to third on the walk to Bryce Bullock, and came in on Gioso's double. He'll call for time, reevaluate. Collegians in white and red with red Collegians across the front. Meadows takes this pitch for a ball. Got a gold emblem, yes,
Yes.
for the C for the Colorado Sun Riley's 1-0 pitch, and this one's taken for a ball on the outside. And Meadows steps back in.
The Boulder Collegians uniforms have to be one of the nicest in all of the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, if not all of the Front Range.
Meadows takes a strike.
Matt Jensen did a beautiful job with interlocking BC, the B looking reminiscent of the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the C a replica of that of the C you could find on the state Colorado flag.
This one's lined into center field, one hops to the center fielder, and Meadows has himself a single.
Exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter here for Collegians manager Matt Senna. 2 singles for Meadows, getting on base, setting the table for the left-handed hitting Nico Nincy. Looks down to the third base coach, who's also the manager, Matt Senna. Tells him to run through the signs once more.
Riley left on left against Nincy. Meadows getting a sizable lead at first. He's going to go for second. It's a hit and run. Nincy fouls this one off towards third base, and Jarebko will make the play in foul territory. Nice play by Jarebko. He made all 3 outs that inning, and that will lead us to the top of the third. 4-1 Collegians after 2. Right here, it's Jake Shapiro, Patrick Lyons. Will be back for the third.
Number 26, Riley.
Stepping in for the Denver Browns is catcher Preston Riley after Joe Milano went 1-2-3 in the second. Collegians leading 4-1 after 2 innings of play. Milano's first pitch is taken for a ball low, and Riley sits on that one.
DH PJ Sparks on deck, and hitting third this inning is shortstop Jordan Bruns.
This one's smoked into left field, heading back, and this one's going to get out of the park. A home run for Preston Riley off Joe Milano, and this one gives the Collegians less of a lead. It's 4-2. Browns with a solo home run to start the third.
Milano left that pitch a little bit over the plate, and again, even though Riley is the 9th hitter in this lineup, the Browns are quite a veteran team. They're professional hitters of the semi-professional variety, and they will take advantage of a mistake if it's left out over the plate, much like that pitch was.
PJ Sparks will try to follow that up. He is the extra hitter tonight, the second DH, and Milano will try to get back in this one. This fastball high with all of his might, fouled back to the cage by Sparks.
That was a real late swing. He just kind of threw his hands at it and luckily caught a piece. Milano not too happy about giving up that home run. Here in the top of the third, 4-2, Collegians still lead.
Riley's 1-1, or Milano's 1-1 pitch rather, is taken into left by Sparks. A sliding catch is made by the Collegians left fielder, David Neal. And that one was caught in that triangle between the left fielder, center fielder, and shortstop, and the left fielder ended up making the play. A nice call up by Dave Neal.
Neal was playing a little bit deeper than he might normally, but after that home run ball for Riley, tried to keep most of those balls in front of him, so he had to go a long way to make the sliding grab here for the first out of the top of the third.
This one's hit again, this time popped out into center field, and it will go for a single for Jordan Bruns. And all of a sudden, Joe Milano has been figured out by the Denver Browns as 3 solid contact in a row made by the Browns.
Number 5, Cutler.
Bruns hitting .478 during spring play and 23 at-bats, has 11 hits with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs, which leads the team, tied for the lead.
Cutler steps in with 1 out. Milano's first pitch, back pick to first, and Bruns gets back in there safely.
Goulart's got a nice arm for a catcher back there, the St. Mary's College sophomore. Gives the sign to Milano, the 1-0.
This one gets back to the backstop. It was a curveball in the dirt. Bruns can't advance, and perhaps that's because of the arm of the catcher of the Collegians, Mark Goulart.
It's a short backstop here at Scott Carpenter Park. Goulart did a good job of getting after it real quick.
Did you hear that buzzing sound, by the way, Patrick, just a second ago?
I did not.
That was a bee in our shotgun mic, I've noticed. Ground ball hit the third base. Bad hop hits the lip, and the third baseman for the Collegians just had to protect himself, and then a bad throw back the other way, and all of a sudden the Browns are playing in the circus against the Collegians. But I do not blame Danny David Lindham at all for putting his arm up there just to protect himself. The ball was headed right for his face, and I'm going to score that one a hit, Patrick.
No doubt. That took a bad hop, and he looked like a young Patrick Waugh there, just kind of going up glove, barehanded, I should say, to protect his face. Once that got past him, the shortstop, Kosh, threw it over to first base a little bit wildly, allowing both runners to advance another base here in the top of the third.
So that's a single and an error on the shortstop, allowing second and third with 1 out. Stepping in for the Browns and taking a first pitch strike is Hunter Brown. He is not who the team is named after, but he is batting for the Browns. Tying run on second in the third inning. Brown takes a off-speed pitch low, and it'll be 1-1. The 1-1. Fastball high. A check swing, and he did not go. And Brown will see the 2-1.
Milano not too happy with that call there. With runners on second and third base. A single could tie this game up here in the top of the third.
2-1 to Brown. Fastball into the zone, skied towards the shortstop. The second baseman is going to call off the shortstop and make the play, and Bryce Bullock comes away with it. And that will be a big out for Milano.
Yeah, I don't think shortstop Kosh saw that ball off the bat very well. Probably why Bullock ended up crossing over on his side of the bag to call off the shortstop.
Because this field is positioned the way it is, geometrically, left field, shortstop, and third base have a hard time seeing the ball later into the afternoon and early evening because the sun sets right behind us, which is right in their eyesight. I used to play left field at this field and shortstop, and I totally understand what just happened between short and second. First pitch, a strike to Matt Jarebker.
When we were shagging fly balls yesterday in the outfield, while the sun was not setting over the mountains there certainly was an absolutely beautiful view leading into Nederland here in Boulder.
Jarebker swings through this ball, and he'll be down 0-2.
Milano gets ahead, not too happy with his selection of swings here, getting behind early on 0-2 against Milano with an opportunity to tie the game up for the Browns. 0-2 pitch from Milano, looks in, gets the sign from Goulart.
Pitch is high, taken for a ball, and Jarebker will wisely take that one. Milano's 1-2 pitch, tying run at second, 4-2 ball game. Lines this one into left field. Backtracking is the Collegians outfielder, and he will come away with it. Neal will get 2 of these outs this inning, and that one was an easy fly ball, reeled in. and the Collegians ahead 4-2 after the top of the third. We'll pick it back up in just a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Boulder Collegians are proud to give back to the community. For the 4th consecutive year, the Boulder Collegians will be offering youth baseball camps. These camps are a great way for youth baseball players to learn from college baseball players while having fun as well. The camps will take place June 12th through the 14th, as well as July 10th through the 12th at the Iris Baseball Fields. For more information and to reserve a spot, visit bouldercollegians.com. Number 24,
Getting set for the bottom of the third inning. Collegians leading 4-2 here at Scott Carpenter Park on opening night against the Denver Browns. Bryce Bullock stepping in to the plate, walked last time. Steve Riley, the pitcher, the starter still in there for the Browns here in the third, will face Bullock for the second time. This one will be a breaking ball that finds the bottom of the strike zone. Riley from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, Bullock will line this one towards short. Soft liner gets through the shortstop, and Bullock ends up on first. A tough play for Jordan Burns, the shortstop for the Browns. He didn't know if it was going to hop or if he was going to be able to get that on a line. That'll go as an E6 either way, but the Collegians will take it as Bullock ends up on first.
That'll bring number 8, Gabe Gioso, the first baseman, to the plate. Another opportunity to do a little bit of damage here for the Boulder Collegians, who leave 4-2 in the bottom of the third.
The lefty fires a strike in to start the at-bat against Gioso.
Bullock, the second baseman, getting a little bit of a lead over there on first base. It's hard to do with the southpaw on the hill.
Bullock takes off. This is a hit and run, and Gioso will put it right towards the second baseman or where he was, and the hit and run is executed beautifully by the Collegians.
Bullock thought about running over down there to third base, but the right fielder Huggins was playing rather shallow on Gioso, so he did not get the opportunity and wisely stayed at second base.
Neal stepping in with 2 on and no outs. Looks for the sign at third base. The lefty, Steve Riley, will deal from the stretch. First baseman not holding on Gioso. Second baseman will hold on the runner at second. This one an off-speed pitch down the middle and fouled off by David Neal. The on-deck batter, Mark Goulart, went and grabbed that foul ball. It was in play, and we're set again for the 0-1 pitch. Quick move towards second base. Forces Bullock to slide back in. No throw there by Riley. Riley, the lefty, comes set, winds. This one a fastball lined into right field, and this one will be a single. The lead runner, Bullock, gets the stop sign at third base, and the bases will be loaded for Mark Goulart, the catcher.
Number 10, Mark Goulart.
Goulart, the 5'10 freshman from St. Mary's College out in California. Doesn't live too far away and lives in the Bay Area, Fremont, California. And as we mentioned, currently the Collegians are with only one catcher until the other backstop makes his way here, Brett Bonner, as he's fresh off of a championship in the Junior College World Series.
First pitch of the at-bat taken for a strike. The third baseman, Jarebker, motioned over to the catcher, Riley, that he was going to come home with a ground ball. So we'll be looking for a play at the plate here if it's hit into the infield. Mark Goulart will try to sky this pitch, the 0-1. High fastball, 1-1.
Corners are in for the Browns. Shortstop and second baseman are a step or two closer to the plate.
The 1-1 from Riley against Goulart. Fastball inside.
I think Riley and the Browns would both sacrifice a run for a double play here in the bottom of the third as the Collegians lead 4-2.
Riley going through the pitching repertoire here, finally picks the pitch he wants. It's a curveball, and that one drops in for a strike.
That breaking ball had a lot of movement on it. Looked like it might have been a little bit down below the knees, but I think it got a piece of the plate crossing at the knees of Goulart.
The 2-2 from Riley in the windup. Goulart puts this one right back into right field, 3 straight into right field for the Collegians, and the lead runner for the Collegians, Bullock, will score. Gioso gets the stop sign at third, and it's an RBI single for Mark Goulart.
Goulart's second RBI of the game as he helped drive in the third run for the Collegians. And now his second RBI, 5th run of the game, gives the Collegians a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the third. Catcher Preston Riley will go out to speak with Stephen Riley, no relation, as the two unrelated battery mates discuss how to pitch to the next batter, number 23, Addison Kosh, out of Fort Hays State University.
Kosh steps in with the bases loaded. Collegians leading 5-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. Browns scored 1 in the top of the third. Collegians have scored 1 in the bottom of the third. And this one by Kosh is skied into right center. Going back is the center fielder, and this one is gone. It's a grand slam for Addison Kosh. And all of a sudden, the Collegians are ahead 9-2 off the big swing from Kosh.
An absolute bomb out to center field there for the sophomore from Fort Hays State University. And Goulart, he was running off the pitch. He had confidence that the ball was going to get over the center fielder, Brown's head, and he almost passed Dave Neal in between second and third base, but once the ball was ruled a home run, he slowed up a little bit, and luckily they did not run themselves into an out.
We are getting a pitching change here as the manager of the Denver Browns has stepped towards the mound to change up the troops. That's Mike Osinko, as this game has started to get all out of hand all of a sudden, just as I thought. In the top half of the third inning, the Browns may tie it. They had the tying run at second base, and now all of a sudden, it's an 8-run ball game.
Onisko is going to stick with Riley right now for this moment. I talked with Onisko before the game, and he mentioned that there's only about 3 pitchers deep that they got right now in the bullpen. Taylor Riley, Mark Barker, and the first baseman, Connor Messenger. So since we're playing 9 innings here, this could be a long one, and Onisko sticks with his starting pitcher, number 9, Mark Taylor, into the box.
Taylor takes a strike to begin the at-bat. Earlier in the ball game, he grounded out to the third baseman. It's where the Browns have had some success. As the 0-1 pitch is a ball. Some ground outs to third base. The 1-1 pitch, that one is low. 2-1 on Taylor. Three and one from Riley. That one's a little bit low as well. I'm sorry, now that's 3-1. We've had some miscommunication with the scoreboard. Taylor will ground this one to second. The second baseman easily will throw this one on to first. And that one is an out. Cutler over to Messenger.
This inning, we've not seen very many balls pulled by the Collegians batter. And we mentioned that Riley is throwing a lot of off-speed pitches here in the early going. So I think the scouting report is to simply sit back. And the Collegians have done exactly that as they take the ball the opposite field on virtually every at-bat here in the bottom of the third inning.
Collegians have had some great at-bats this inning. In fact, that was the first out of the inning. And this inning all started as the 0-0 pitch fake bunt attempt by Danny David Linehan. He'll pull that one back and take ball one. Was started by an error from Jordan Bruns.
Linehan is a 5'10 junior from Hardin-Simmons University in Texas. Takes strike two. This is Linehan's second year with the Collegians, the only returning player for the Boulder Collegians. Played last year in 2017. Originally from Argyle, Texas. Linehan sits.
This one's grounded to short. Bruns comes up with it, will toss it from the side across the infield. Messenger will hang on and grab the out for the second out of the inning.
Number 22, Marcus Altman.
Altman, number 22 from Fort Hays State University, steps into the box. Riley looks, delivers.
This one is popped into right. The second baseman will call off the first baseman, and Cutler will come down with the ball and get the Browns out of the inning. So after 3 innings of play, the Collegians lead the Browns 9-2 here at Scott Carpenter Park. We'll be back for the 4th inning in just a moment.
Collegians fans, now that we got the mic to work, I'm Allison, and it's time for our social media giveaway. So what we need you to do is get out your phones, follow the Boulder Collegians on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, post a picture, and make sure to tag us in it, because then you'll be doing a Collegians prize pack. So make sure to do that, and you can win, and we'll be announcing it later in the game.
Number 23, Huggins.
Huggins steps in for the Browns, all of a sudden trailing 9-2 after the grand slam from Kosh in the top half. Back to the mound with some run support is Joe Milano, who starts with the ball.
We talked to manager Matt Senna about Milano before the game. Strike on the outside corner for Milano, 1-1. It's 9-2 here in the top of the 4th inning for the Collegians. Senna said that he's going to have a couple pitchers thrown today. Ball outside, 2-1. To get a few of them some work, stretch them out, get them acclimated to the altitude here in Boulder, Colorado.
Taken for a ball now, 3-1. You don't want Milano to lose this guy after the big inning.
And ultimately, he didn't want anybody throwing any more than 60 pitches. Milano certainly getting up there. Fastball down the pike, swung at for strike 2.
A 3-2 count from Milano. Huggins, the right fielder. This one on the outside, skied in towards left field. Neal coming in will reach up above his head and grab the ball. And that is out number 1 of the 4th inning.
Number 20, Phobes.
First pitch to Phobes. A strike. He swung right through that fastball from Milano. Right back to the hill. The second pitch is a low breaking ball, and Milano now working really quickly out of the windup. The 1-1. Another swing through by Phobes, and Milano's got him right where he wants him ahead, 1-2. Milano from the windup. Off-speed pitch, and that one was dirty as it does Phobes in. And Phobes tried to hold back on the swing, but couldn't as that one reached the outside corner.
That's the 6th strikeout for the Louisville, Colorado native Joe Milano out of Dodge City Community College. That'll bring number 3 first baseman Connor Messenger to the plate.
Fouls off the first pitch. There's that shotgun, Mike. You hear that too, right, buddy?
That's amazing. The technical crew here for the Boulder Collegians did a fantastic job setting up all of our equipment. Do you remember the names of those gentlemen, by the way, Jake?
I believe it was Patrick Lyons and Jake Shapiro about 4 hours before the ball game this afternoon.
4 hours, that's all it took, huh?
That's all it took. Ground ball towards the third base side, and that will be a foul ball as the umpire, Mark Moffat calls this one off.
Messenger takes his time, getting himself back into the box. Only his 4th game so far this spring. Milano rocks and fires.
This one inside and taken for strike 3, the 7th strikeout from Milano. An off-speed pitch reaches the inside corner, and Milano with some swagger back to the Collegians dugout. 9-2 Collegians after the top of the 4th. We'll pick it up in just a bit.
What they're going to do is they're going to start with 5 push-ups, and they're going to run to the middle and do 5 sit-ups, and then at the end, they're going to do 5 jumping jacks, and whoever high-fives me first wins. Ready, guys? On your mark, get set, go!
Today's fitness challenge brought to you by the Mountains Edge Fitness, the home gym for your Boulder Collegians. Check them out at their location on 30th behind the Boulder Broker, and go to their website, mountainsedgefitness.com.
Leading off in the bottom of the 4th for the Boulder Collegians, number 2, the right fielder out of Alcorn State University, Andrew Meadows. Stephen Riley looks for his pitch as he starts his 4th inning of work. Delivers high and outside for ball 1. 9-2 Collegians here in the bottom of the 4th. driven to right field. The right fielder got a late jump on it. He's going to come over to make the catch. Down on one knee. One away. That'll bring number 4 center fielder Nico Nincy out of Adams State University to the plate.
Number 4, Nico Nincy.
Lefty on lefty action here. Riley in his 4th inning of work. Rocks and fires. Off-speed pitch. Curveball on the inside corner for strike 1.
We'll see if Nincy can pull something here. I would like to see him pull something, especially with the off-speed stuff.
Walked his first at-bat and popped one to the third baseman. Driven up the middle for a single to the right side of the bag. Jake, you got exactly what you were hoping for. As Nincy singles off of Riley for his first hit of the game.
Riley had a chance at that ball, put up his hand, tried to block it down, thought better of it. He didn't want to hurt his pitching hand, and it led to the single for Nincy.
Nincy in his past 2 years of college play at Adams State University was 4 for 4 on stolen bases and was 20 for 21 in Northeastern Junior College in 2017. We'll see if he can get a lead off the left-hander Riley. First pitch fastball popped up high to the left side. Shortstop calls him off. And Bruns will make the catch for the second out of the bottom of the 4th.
Bruns called off Jarebker and made the play. That's the shortstop's ball. If it gets behind the third baseman can call off the shortstop if it's under the shortstop. And that's what happened there.
Gioso.
First baseman number 8, Gabe Gioso, steps to the plate. 2 for 2 on the ball game so far. 2-run double to get the Collegians started off in the bottom of the 1st.
And a seeing eye single last inning.
First pitch fastball swung on for strike 1. Riley throws a lot of off-speed pitches, but when he wants to throw a fastball, he can get it up there. At the waist, delivers. In the dirt, Nincy gets a good jump, steals. Nincy had a late jump there. I think he wasn't going on the pitch, but when he saw the ball was going to be down and in the dirt, stole his first bag of the game.
That's a great read by Nincy, moving up on the wild pitch. Saw the ball was going to be in the dirt, and with the one-way lead against the lefty, he had already had that momentum going towards second base and just put on the wheels.
Riley at the waist delivers, fouled off to the right side into the Browns visitors dugout on the first base side. Collegians hitters have definitely been sitting back on the ball, taking it to the opposite field. And Gioso sits and waits as Riley gets the sign on the 1-2 count. High for ball 2.
Riley's had some good command of his off-speed stuff. The fastball, not so much. And that's why the Collegians have just sat back and waited for that off-speed stuff.
2-2 count. 2-2 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. 9-2 Collegians lead. Again, fastball could not locate it. That will load the count. We're full 3-2 here on Gabe Gioso. The left fielder, Dave Neal, number 20, waits on deck. Fires. Fouled back, out of play.
You may see Riley try to pick off Nincy at second. Nincy got a big lead there on the 3-2 pitch.
Nincy's got great speed out there. That's why you see him patrolling center field. But again, his ability to read those pitches and steal a base and know when the most opportune time is there is unmatched right here in Rocky Mountain Baseball League so far. Riley at the waist delivers. High again with the fastball, can't locate it, and he'll walk Gioso.
Gioso been on base all 3 times this afternoon and brings up Dave Neal, who has singled in his last at bat. one of those players that took the ball to right in that great string of at-bats in the bottom of the third.
The number 4, 6, and 7th hitter have multiple RBIs on the day. And you got to think Neal is looking at an opportunity here to single and score Nincy from second base. 9-2, bottom of the 4th. Stephen Raleigh, the left-hander, number 14, is on the hill. He'll fire. Driven to left center field. The left fielder's going back on. It's going to get over his head. Nincy's going to stroll his way home to score run number 10. And following closely behind is first baseman Gabe Gioso, scoring all the way from first base as Dave Neal gets his 2 RBIs with an RBI double to left center field.
Well, Neal has improved in every at-bat, struck out in the first at-bat, then singled in the second at-bat, that time with a 2 RBI double that was absolutely roped into left center, and the Collegians now ahead by 9.
Number 10, catcher Mark Goulart to the plate. 34, the left-hander, southpaw Stephen Riley gets his sign at the waist, delivers inside fastball high for ball 1. 11-2 here at Scott Carpenter Park in the bottom of the 4th inning. Collegians lead over the visiting Denver Browns. Neal gets a lead off of second base. Driven to left field, right at the left fielder, Matt Barker, who makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning.
And when we come back for the top of the 5th, we'll talk to the man that's in charge of everything Denver Browns, Matt Replinger. I'm Jake Shapiro, he's Patrick Lyons. Boulder Collegians leading 11-2 after 4.
Almost an inning.
Okay.
I think it is. No. An inning? Wait.
I think I'm just going to let him sit here, yeah? I'll just let him sit here. I don't mind. No. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I agree. Good, how are you? Yeah. Yeah, right? Are you bring your daughters? Nice to meet you, man. Okay. Both very much. What's his name? Okay. Okay, I remember that for whatever reason. One of his friends is doing the camera for us. Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. It's so cool. Yeah. It's really cool. It's my first year with them. Grab a seat here. Patrick. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. You can grab a seat here. Kind of share this mic a little bit. Okay. Get a seat too.
Just gonna stand, or we have another clean chair over there. That chair's a little dusty. Careful.
That's all right.
Okay. What's going on, Shap?
What's your official title? General manager.
Sure. That's a good baseball term.
Right. Denver Browns ambassador. What do we say?
I don't know. I just call myself the queen bee.
It's my favorite. Is that 87 Tops? Is my favorite all-time set. Yeah. I think that's Trenka.
Get a number.
Mitch Trenka. Yeah, he's the only number I don't have. Number 7.
Not that good.
It's pretty cool, sweet. Is it Trinka?
Yes.
You okay? Yeah. Access this?
Yeah. Although, we think there's a microphone kind of picking our voice up just a little bit, right? We're not sure yet. Might be a shotgun mic.
Back for the top of the 5th with Patrick Lyons. I am Jake Shapiro. We are joined by General Manager of the Denver Browns, Matt Replinger. Matt, it is so nice to have you. You've done so much in baseball over the course of your life, not just your tenure with the Browns. I want to talk about some of the things you've done with yoga, but I do have to let our viewers know that we have a new pitcher in the game, and that's Mitch Trinka, the left-hander wearing number 7 for the Collegians, big lefty. He hurls in a strike at the first pitch, facing off against Matt Barker. Matt, you have done so much, and the yoga thing has been your baby, and it's been your brainchild, and you've brought yoga to so many different major league teams.
Thanks for having me on, Shap. This is a great night. It's pretty neat to be here in Boulder. I've had luck marketing my company to Major League Baseball, and I've been thankful to have a lot of success. And Barker down on strikes looking. That's the second time today. He's
nice.
Not going to be happy.
Yeah, nice pitch by Trinka. Barker very unhappy with that call, or himself. Either way, Trinka starts his day off right for the Collegians.
Well, maybe just to clarify, Preston Riley hit a home run his last at bat here on the second pitch. But I just want to maybe clarify. I work as a consultant and liaison for several Major League Baseball teams in yoga. I help put on yoga events at Major League Baseball stadiums, what's often termed as a yoga day or Nama Stadium. But yeah, I currently work with the Dodgers, the Mariners. I've worked with the Rockies the last 5 years in terms of their yoga day. That ball skied foul. But several other teams, from the White Sox, the Pirates, the Nationals. I help a handful of others in terms of putting on a yoga event. So I've had a lot of success in doing that.
Where did you first find the love for yoga? Because I assume, the way baseball fans work, you've been a baseball fan since the minute you were born, but the yoga thing must have come later. And then when did that crossover occur?
I was working for Major League Baseball in 2012, and at that time I'd been practicing yoga quite a bit, about 5 years.
Riley grounds this one foul.
And I was, the passing of Ryan Friel is really what prompted me to start my business. And I just was so helpless, and it was rather heartbroken. I liked Ryan Friel as a player. He hustled so hard, and he was 2 years removed from his playing career, and he committed suicide. And that's what prompted me to start Pro Positive Yoga. I realize that I have an interesting, unique place in Major League Baseball, and that I have a large network of folks that I know because I've worked in baseball my whole life, and I knew a lot of people in yoga across the country. I decided to combine those two worlds. Ouch! That ball is lined off the pitcher.
Riley hit it right back at Trinka. Ball bounced up and hit him in the face. He appears to be okay. They'll check on him, and that will go as an out, the 1-3, and he lost the ball trying to catch it because he had taken off his glove to check on his face, but it doesn't appear that's because of the injury.
Yeah, baseball is a sport that you don't realize. You get your bell rung more than you realize. And it's just incidental types of things where you don't even know that you might be concussed, and something like that. And for instance, and
Number 13.
Ryan Friel had CTE, which a lot of baseball players are actually being diagnosed with now. And I do believe yoga and meditation has a profound positive effect on players and athletes. So that's one reason I started my business.
And now with the Denver Browns, I've always been fascinated by this, a semi-pro team. You guys play Sunday home games. It's a great atmosphere for the family, a bunch of dudes that just love playing baseball, and it doesn't get better than that for me.
I've been really lucky. This is our 12th season, and we started the team with an idea of just playing as competitive a baseball as we can, playing the game the right way, and Sparks down on strikes there.
Trinka with a really nice pitch to get Sparks looking. We can keep going, Matt.
Oh, gladly, yeah. But yeah, the Browns have just been an organic thing. That's Gino Grasso and myself started the team in 2007, and we've been fortunate to have just a great core of players over the years. And Mike Anisko is one of the best managers in the history of our league, and he's been our skip now for a good 5 years. So it's been really lucky to put some good people in place, and things take care of themselves.
Rep, I think a lot of people watching this would be interested to know how they could join your team, because there are openings, there are tryouts, and there are a lot of guys that play baseball that are maybe age out of the league the Boulder Collegians play in that want to come play for the Browns.
Yeah, I'm always looking for talented baseball players, and if I don't have a place for you to play, I'll find you a place to play. Thankfully I know a lot of folks in Denver in terms of managers of adult league baseball teams, so I pride myself on finding the right fit for talent levels, depending if you're a 20-year-old kid or a 50-year-old guy way past his prime and you still want to play baseball. I'm somebody to kind of be a conduit for that.
That's awesome. And it's one of those games, I think, with baseball that, yeah, the major leaguers may only last till they're 40 at the maximum, but you and I both know there are guys out here playing into their 60s, and I love seeing that because it's a game you can play when you're a little bit older, and I'm sure that happens in your guys' league.
Well, for sure. In fact, the third baseman for our Browns tonight, Matt Repker, is 41 years old. He was my college roommate. The guy's been the most prolific home run hitter in our league for the last 20 years. Trent Cutler is 42 years old, or I should say, no, he's 41. He'll turn 42 in October. He's got the most hits in the history of our team and is still our captain. So, Connor Messenger played for you guys 2 years ago, so we really run the gamut in terms of, a pretty wide paradox in terms of age. So.
And you've had some interesting people play for the Denver Browns as well. I believe you had general manager of the Rockies, Jeff Bridich, come out one time as well.
Jeff Bridich never suited up for the Browns, but he played for my manager, Mike Anisco, in 2003, I believe, his first year at the Rockies. He played adult league baseball for the Colorado Reds, and Drepker and Anisco both were his teammates.
That's so funny to me that you could just have a guy who's the general manager of the Rockies come out and play some adult league baseball, wants to play some baseball.
If you're passionate about baseball, you're passionate about baseball. And Jeff Bridich was a good college player. He played at Harvard, and he had just came over from the office of commissioner. I was working with him that year. It was my second year with the Rockies, and he still wanted to play ball. I was trying to get him to play on my team at that time. The Browns didn't exist that year. We didn't come into fruition until 07. So.
And I see you giving away some baseball cards to the younger kids. What's that about today?
It's just become a hobby of mine. It's my favorite thing to do. I bring baseball cards pretty much to every game I go to, whether it be a Rockies game, a high school game, you name it. And I'll give 1980s baseball cards to kids that want them pretty much every inning. I tell them to come back on the inning, and I'll give them more cards. But
yeah, and we saw that in between innings here, just forking over some nice 1987 Topps cards, fouled back by Kosh. And that's my favorite set of all time, is 1987 Topps. I love it so much that I actually got a rather large spool of uncut 1987 Topps. It's back home at my parents' house in Manchester, New Jersey. How you doing, Mom and Dad?
You love the fake wood, don't you?
Oh, that's my favorite, yes. Mark McGuire's rookie card. We even see here some lucky kid's going to get a Future Stars Bo Jackson.
That's awesome.
Yeah, now someday my hope is to, I'm not sure if I'll use it as wallpaper or if I can just throw it up in some beautiful frames, but 87 Topps, all-time favorite.
Your wife, I always am amazed at the things she does for you, Patrick. And this one's a ground ball to first, taken by Messenger, who throws on to Barker, the new pitcher for the Browns, takes care of that one.
My wife is definitely a saint. Hey, babe, how are you? Robin, she's at home listening to the game. She's got an off day, so she won't be at the stadium at Coors Field rooting on Dinger. She loves mascots. That's her favorite thing.
Well, we've got Baldy here.
We do. I haven't seen him yet. Has he been running around?
I have not seen Baldy. Is he here?
He might be. He's. Can we confirm if he's related to Mr. or Mrs. Met? Is there any relation?
There looks like there is some relation. Rep, I've got a question for you, too, because you've got Matt Barker on the mound right now. This ball is lined into right center. This one looks like it's going to get down. A diving center fielder can't grab it. And Mark Taylor is headed for 3. The relay from second base, and Taylor is out at third. A great play by the Browns on an errant throw on that relay, still able to make up for it, and that's going to be out number 2 of the inning on the Taylor double.
Yeah, we caught a break there.
Rep, we've got Matt Barker on the mound right now, and my friend Ted Chalfin at Purple Row wrote an unbelievable story on this guy last year, and this may be my favorite guy on your team because of all of the stuff he's had to go through. Rightfully
so. He's a leader if there ever was one. I consider this guy to be one of my personal heroes, and the GLBT movement is slow, I should say. Eric Braverman has now become one of the leading executives in Major League Baseball who happens to be a homosexual. There are not very many openly gay baseball players anywhere in baseball, and on the mound right here, right now, we have one of them. And Matt Barker, drafted by the Rockies in, I believe, 2000, is one of the leaders on our team. He's kind of stirs the drink, if you will. He doesn't back down from anybody. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever met, and he's downright intimidating, actually.
And he still has those plus skills. I mean, you can see it on the mound right now. Got in there, steady confidence. At the plate tonight, has had a rough night, as you mentioned. He's struck out looking twice, but you can see he's a heady baseball player.
He sure is. And he plays nearly every position. He caught for us 2 years ago in a championship season. And Barker's been one of the best players in our league for many years.
Danny David Lindham, 1-2, will take strike 3 from Barker. High on the fastball. Lindham will head back to the dugout. Collegians leading 11-2 after 5. I want to thank Matt Replinger for joining us, one of my favorite guys in all of baseball.
Thank you, Jake. It was my pleasure. And we'll be back here, I think, the middle of next month for another one. So
yep.
I appreciate you having me on. And you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Without your help, we cannot continue to provide the services that you've come to expect. If you're interested in volunteering with the Boulder Collegians, talk to one of our volunteers or staff at the concession stand or at the front gate. Or add your information to our sign-up sheets located around the park. Thank you for making the Boulder Collegians your home for college baseball in Boulder.
Back for 6. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let me know when you're there.
I will. You'll see me. Corey Little's been meaning to give me a press card. So what are you doing press? What are you doing press for my next book? For what? For my next book. Awesome. Cool. So how we doing? We got locked in the middle of the evening. I resumed it. So I resumed it. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Oh, yeah, it could happen. Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Number 22 runs.
Stepping in for the Denver Browns is Jordan Bruns to lead off the top of the 6th. He grounds one towards third base. Almost hits a rabbit.
Wow.
But it goes foul.
Yeah, that rabbit was running around the ballpark while we were setting up 4 hours before the game, as you mentioned. Going the opposite way.
Wait, we have a rabbit delay right now. And I'm not even kidding you. We have a rabbit delay, Patrick.
It's Boulder. Anything can happen. Rabbit currently sits foul territory on the first base side.
Trinka winds. This one's a hard fastball, but Burns will spit on it and put it back into center field. He'll have himself a leadoff single.
Bruns 3 for 3 today. The double and 2 singles. He's ended up scoring the Browns' first run to give them a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Of course, if you've been watching with us on our YouTube feed, you saw that the Collegians scored 4 in the bottom of the first and have yet to look back. They lead 11-2 here in the top of the 6th.
This one is chopped towards the shortstop, and a double play for the Collegians. Turned out there, and a beautiful one at that. A great job by the Collegians shortstop, Bullock, who's moved over from second to short. He got it on to Addison Kosh, who made the turn at second. A new double play combo for the Collegians, and that's not easy. Those guys have not communicated much.
Yeah, nice job there, switching up their spots there in the middle infield, but Kosh has got those quick hands from his days at shortstop. Fires across the first base for the 6-4-3 double play. First pitch to number 44, Hunter Brown, is a ball high. 1-0.
Second pitch from Trinka. Fastball just a bit high. And this is a hard-throwing lefty. The Collegians have a few of them.
They do have more left-handed pitchers in their bullpen than right-handed pitchers. and that's going to be a big advantage for them this year.
This one is put into right by Brown. Backtracking is the Collegians' right fielder, and this one will get over the fence. Brown has himself a homer for the Browns.
The second home run for the Browns today. First one was a solo blast from the catcher Preston Riley in the top of the third, and here in the top of the sixth. Center fielder Hunter Brown goes opposite field on the home run. Meadows tracked that ball back. He had it the entire way, ran out of room, and
Number 19.
luckily hit the fence, not at one of the post marks, but right in between those two, so had somewhat of a cushioned break against the wall.
Trinka is a graduate of Monarch. He's from Louisville, Colorado. This one's grounded towards third. Danny David Lindholm will make the play and throw over to first, and that one will be the third out of the top of the sixth. We'll head back to the bottom of the sixth. Collegians leading by 8, 11-3.
Hello, it is time for our lip sync battle. Dancing and singing first, I have Josephine, Finley, and they're going to be dancing to Shake It Off. And second, Joe and Annabella. Okay, let's get started. Get out here. Amazing.
We're getting set for the bottom of the sixth inning. Collegians leading 11-3. Back on the mound for his second inning of work is Matt Barker, who set down the Collegians in order in the last inning.
Number 22, Marcus Altman, will be stepping to the plate, looking for his first hit of the ball game, the second DH of the Collegians lineup. Andrew Meadows on deck, and third this inning will be number 4 center fielder Nico Nincy.
Altman has grounded out to the third baseman and popped a ball to the second baseman in this game as he takes strike one from Barker. Barker wearing number 10 for the Browns. Browns in brown and white. The Collegians in white and red with blue caps, at least when they're batting. Second pitch is a strike on a fastball swung on and missed by Altman.
You got to think Collegian hitters are going to be adjusting this inning here as they were in the bottom of the fifth, as Barker shows some plus speed, about at least 10 miles an hour faster than the starting pitcher Stephen Riley, ball down in the zone.
Plus better fastball command, I've already noticed. Riley had some issues with that this afternoon. The lights come on here at Scott Carpenter Park. They're starting to be the main source of light, not yet. And the 1-2 pitch is fouled off. Browns have somebody working in their bullpen.
Nice off-speed pitch by Barker. Altman did a good job throwing his hands, take it opposite field, foul to stay alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 11-3, Boulder Collegians here in the bottom of the sixth.
Taylor Riley, it appears, is warming for the Denver Browns. It looks like he's catching somebody in that bullpen. And this one is lifted out to the shortstop position, and an easy play there made by the Browns shortstop off of the Altman pop-up.
Number 2, Andrew Meadows.
Andrew Meadows steps back to the plate for his 4th appearance of the ball game. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a fly out to right field. Meadows has some great speed. Barker comes set, lifts his leg, throws, and that one's a bit outside. He'll take ball one.
If you forgive Barker for that double by Taylor in the bottom of the 5th, he has retired 5 straight batters here.
That one goes for a strike. It's 1-1. Meadows on 1-1 with 1 out. Collegians leading 11-3 in the bottom of the 6th. And this one will be checked, but it was a strike anyway, according to Mark Moffat. And it's 1-2.
We'll see if Barker's off-speed stuff can fool the young leadoff hitter Meadows.
And this one's a low breaking ball that was sat on and waited by Meadows. He takes 2-2.
Meadows got some quick hands, so he's going to be sitting off speed, ready to knock the ball opposite field if he needs to.
Barker's 1-2 pitch. That one is strike 3. Barker got Meadows for the second out of the inning. Appears about 4 Browns forgot how many outs there were.
Number 4, Nico Nincy.
Nincy 1 for 2 so far on the ball game. Walk, pop up to the third baseman. Jarebker and a single to right center field. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Collegians lead 11-3.
Barker comes set, kicks his leg. Nincy will ground this towards first. Messenger throws on to Barker and makes the play. That's 3 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Collegians leading 11-3. We'll pick it up in the top of the 7th in just a minute.
We have our winner for the social media challenge. Chad Nincy. Post it on Facebook and tag us in it. So congratulations. Make sure everyone else to follow Boulder Collegians on social media to keep up with everything Collegians. And Chad, meet me by the snack shack.
Number 23, Huggins.
Top of the 7th here at Scott Carpenter Park in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. Mitch Trenka in his 3rd inning of work for the Collegians as they lead the Browns 11-3. Fastball just a bit too inside, plunking Huggins on the backside of his ribs.
Trinka has that velocity, but it's certainly going to be a question of command with him. We've seen him leave one over the plate and allowed a home run last inning. This time he hits Huggins and he gets his base. Trinka playing at Regis, 6'5", 205 pounds.
Fouled back. It's not going to hit our tent booth, is it?
No, that already landed. But I was concerned about that as well. He pitched 6 2/3 innings, had a record of 0-1, struck out 9 6 2/3. You certainly see that deception with the good stuff from Trinka.
Trinka at the waist. Rocks and fires. Curveball did not quite curve. Much like his first pitch to Huggins. Inside does not hit the batter, though. 1-1. Phobes takes it low and inside for ball 2.
Trinka, his career ambition is to be a police officer. He was all-conference first team in high school at Monarch, a 2017 grad.
Fires and swings for strike 2. The lanky lefty wearing number 7 at the waist. Checks the runner and fires. Low again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball away for a called strike 3. The 3rd strikeout of the game so far for Trenka in his 2 1/3 innings of work.
Messenger.
That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Phobes. First one looking. That'll bring number 3, the first baseman Connor Messenger, former Boulder Collegian, to the plate.
And the Browns have struck out 9 times this evening. A couple of times looking. 3 times, in fact, looking. Sorry, 4 times looking. No, 3 times. Got my book all wrong, Patrick.
Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And unfortunately, that got our friends over there with the Collegians Facebook live streams broadcast knocked down their little rig.
Everybody okay over there?
Everyone seems to be just okay.
11-3 Collegians. Top of the 7th. Trenka at the waist. Gets his sign and fires. Fastball. Back picks to first base. Does not get the runner. Huggins, who slides safely back into first.
Mark Goulart's got a good arm. That is certainly something we've learned tonight.
And that ball was down in the dirt as well. He did a good job of picking it and delivering back over to first. Trenka delivers.
This one's a
Driven
fair ball.
Down the first base line. It's going to stay fair. Runner coming around to third base. Messenger is going to stand up in second for a double as the ball's tossed in, and Huggins stays at third base. Runners at second and third on the stand-up double for first baseman Connor Messenger.
11-3 Collegians in this exhibition match against the Denver Browns. In the top of the 7th, the runners on second and third with 1 out. Trenka facing Matt Barker.
Right-handed hitter, number 10, sits back, fouls the ball opposite way for strike 1. Browns behind 8 runs here with only 8 outs left to try to get themselves back in this ball game.
Trenka with a very hard pitch there. That looked like a slider that came in on Barker.
Trenka at the waist. Fires a little bit inside there. Home plate umpire Mark Moffitt calls it a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And these pitchers gotta love working to Goulart. You just hear his glove popping at every opportunity.
Fired for strike 2. Great job framing by Goulart there. No doubter. Barker's been down on himself in his first 2 at-bats. He struck out each time. Let's see what he does here. Throws the hands to stay alive and foul back the curveball by the lanky lefty.
Trenka's got him where he wants him now, 2-2.
Runners on second and third.
We'll see if he goes back to the breaking ball.
He does, and Barker drives it to center field. That's going to score 1. Messenger's going to hold up around third base off of the strong arm by Meadows. And the Browns score for the first time in 3 innings.
They scored last inning, Patrick. They had that home run.
H waits, fouls it back. (11-5) Collegians here in the top of the 7th. Runner on first base. PJ Sparks, the DH, at the plate. Number 7, Mitch Trenka on the hill. Fires low for strike 2. Goulart tried to back pick the runner. It gets past the first baseman, Gioso. He's going to take third base on this as well. And the throw looked like it might have gotten him there on time, but he slides. Linehan cannot hold on to the ball. He's shaking his left wrist, his glove hand, as the runner, Riley, slid in hard. Yesterday when we were out in the outfield for media day, we saw the grass was a little bit high. That held up a lot of balls. So when the back pick from Goulart got past the first baseman, Gioso, Meadows had to go a long way in right field to back him up as the ball died in the grass. One count. Taken for a ball. Excuse me, it was 1-2. That ball in the dirt will make it 2-2.
And I do want to apologize for some of those technical difficulties we had moments ago. We got that all taken care of, I believe.
Swung on in the dirt. Goulart digs it out, fires to first base for the third out of the inning. 2 runs scored by the Browns here in the top of the 7th, but Collegians still lead 11-5. Bryce Bullock, Gabe Gioso, and Dave Neal to lead off in the top of the 2nd for the Collegians.
Please join in singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I think we have some American Idol winners here. Number 24, Bryce Bullock.
Bottom of the 7th here at Scott Carpenter Park. Collegians lead 11-5 against the Denver Browns. Beautiful rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" by a couple of the BOCO 9 and under ball players here up in the press box. Bryce Bullock from UNLV, number 24, shortstop, steps into the plate. New pitcher on the hill, lefty Taylor Riley, number 57, fires low for ball 1. Bullock got on base his first 2 at-bats, but is still looking for his first hit of the ball game. Riley fires high for ball 2. Between innings, Riley had to rush himself out here and only got a couple warm-up pitches, so I think he's still trying to find his groove as Bullock lifts that one in the left field. Shortstop calls off the left fielder, and Bruns reels it in for the first out of the top of the 7th.
Bullock, before the game I saw back here in the shed, he actually drilled his own cheek guard onto his batting helmet,
Number 8.
which you can see on camera.
Steve Gioso.
And I just kind of looked at him, and I was like, all right, I guess that's how you do it at this level of baseball. You don't have someone do it for you.
Bullock is actually working here in Boulder. We saw him after yesterday's media day, raking out the infield just a little bit.
So if the field ever has a bad hop like it did for Danny David Lindahan earlier, you can blame his teammate, Bryce Bullock.
Riley delivers on the 1-0. High again for ball 2.
You know, Patrick, 57 is such a great number for a pitcher.
Absolutely. In contrast to that, number 7 is also a great number for a pitcher as well. That's what we see Mitch Trenka wearing. Love those single-digit pitchers.
I don't know about that. It always confuses me. I believe there have been some really good pitchers that have worn number 57 over the course of history in Major League Baseball.
I don't know why, but I feel like Tanyan Sturtz wore number 57. Yes, Tanyan Sturtz. Strike for 3-1 count here on Gabe Gioso. 2 for 2 with a walk. Takes inside for ball 4.
Last season, 22 different players wore 57 in Major League Baseball. Zach Lee, one of the top Dodgers prospects who was with San Diego last year, wore 57. Of course, Rex Brothers wore 57 for the Rockies, as does one of the best pieces in the New York bullpen, Chad Green. And I think this guy's vastly underrated. Chase Anderson wears 57, as does Matt Latos.
Riley fires, and Neal fires to left field. Gone with a 360 McTwist into the skate park. The 2-run blast from David Neal puts this game a little bit more out of reach as the Collegians lead here in the bottom of the 7th, 13-5.
Neal got all of that Riley pitch, got his bat head going under that ball and lifted it to left. That one went about 370 feet high into that screen that's covered in ivy in left center.
Didn't quite get into the skate park, got a little bit overzealous on that. Wanted to get out that great home run call we've been teasing so far all day. Taylor rocks and fires to Goulart for strike 1. Jake, you actually touched on it earlier in the game that Neal had been getting better in each of his at-bats. He struck out in the first, singled in the third, had a nice double for 2 RBIs in the fourth, and there we saw his home run to left field for his 4th RBI on the night. And those 2 runs that Trenka gave up in the top of the 7th have just come back to the Collegians. Goulart squibs one up the middle to the second baseman, who makes the easy toss over to first base for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Some scores from around the big leagues. The Cubs lead the Mets 5-1 at the bottom of the 9th inning. The Cardinals leading the Pirates 5-4 in the 8th. The Phillies leading the Los Angeles Dodgers 2-1. The Nationals trailing the Braves 4-2 in Atlanta. In the middle of the 6th, Astros leading the Red Sox 4-2. Middle of the 6th, the Indians are leading the Minnesota Twins 8-2. And in the top of the 3rd, it's 4-2 San Diego against Miami in San Diego.
Drilled to left center field. Kosh is going to get extra bases here as he rounds first. He's going to third. Throw to the shortstop, little late. Fires high of the third baseman. And that got into the Collegians' dugout. Hopefully nobody got hit with that ball. But with that ball being out of play, the runner's going to advance home. Kosh homered in the 3rd and now has a triple to his name. That'll give him 6 RBIs on the ball game.
Just to finish up these scores, the Rangers and Mariners play later tonight Anaheim and Detroit are done. Detroit's won 6-2. Tampa Bay and Oakland played earlier today. Oakland won 7-3, and the Yankees and Orioles have been postponed to July 9th. Collegians leading here 14-5 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Taylor fouls it
In this exhibition match against the Denver Browns.
You know, Jake, not even a 2-point conversion will tie the game back up for the Browns, so they might need an onside kick here in the 8th or 9th. What do you think?
I like baseball.
As do I. 0-1 count. Riley rocks and fires. High for ball 1. Taylor's got himself a lot of pine tar on that bat. Enough that would make George Brett proud. Ball down in the dirt. As he taps the bat on his right shoulder, you can see the jersey pull up ever so slightly due to that pine tar. Home plate umpire Mark Moffitt will deliver the baseball to Riley to give his backstop counterpart a chance to kind of recover. Hit him on the inside of his right leg on that ball in the dirt. That's what umpires do for their protection for their catchers.
Who do you think had the highest WAR out of a guy who wore 57 for most of his career, Patrick? When you think of it, he did play for the New York Mets and Minnesota Twins. That's your hint.
Johan Santana, no doubt about it.
There you go. All good pitching numbers. Johnny Vandermeer wore it for the 38 Reds. Of course, he's the only guy to throw 2 no-hitters consecutively back-to-back. Juan Guzman wore the number for several years, as did K-Rod when he was the closer for the Anaheim Angels.
Scooped by the shortstop Bruns, who fires high, but first baseman Messenger reels it back in for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 runs for the Collegians. Give them a 14-5 lead here as we head to the top of the 8th.
And we're supposed to welcome General Manager Matt Jensen to the booth for the top of the 8th. I do not see him, so stick around. Hopefully we'll hear from Matt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Boulder Collegians are back in action tomorrow night against the Denver Pirates. Game time is 6:15. Tomorrow night we'll also have music from Jeff and Paige with the fun, children-friendly musicians putting on a concert starting at 5:15. The show is free with your game ticket. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night right back here at Suits Field at Scott Carpenter Park. Now pitching for the Collegians, number 15, Nick Clausen. Batting for the Browns, number 17, Livernois.
Back for the 8th inning of action between the Boulder Collegians and Denver Browns. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Collegians. It's the lefty, Nick Clausen. He will face the Browns, number 17, a pinch hitter, Eddie Beck. Clausen goes to Temple College, 5'11", 183 pounds, from Austin, Texas. His first pitch is a fastball, swung on and missed by Beck. Clausen's got some good size on the mound. His second pitch is a low fastball that's popped in towards right field. The right fielder will come on and make the catch for the Collegians. Clausen this past year in school for Temple had a 6.65 ERA in 18 games pitched, played high school, was an all-district honorable mention as a senior in Austin, Texas. Matt Jensen, the GM of the Boulder Collegians, has joined us as the first pitch to Trent Cutler is a fastball swung through by the Big Browns second baseman. Matt, how's opening night going for you?
That's been great. This is exactly what we expect from our guys from a team like this. An older team. We wanted to get some reps in again before we play our first league game tomorrow, and I think the guys are ready to go.
1-1 pitch is a fastball that's fouled off behind the first base dugout. You mentioned the pitching of this team, and I've already noticed it with the lefties and the stuff that they have. It certainly is one of the better pitching staffs for this level, just off of your assessment and what I've seen tonight.
Well, there's still a lot to be determined. We're, again, happy with the outcome here, but we're expecting a higher level of play from the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. So as much as we want to be excited and get up and already start planning our trip to the NBC World Series, there's a lot of season left, and we certainly want to continue down the path that we're on. But I'm very pleased. The pitching staff is certainly a different staff than we've had before. It's something that we can really work with these guys and play matchups and a lot of lefties, and I think that's going to be really helpful down the line.
The matchups is nice. I know not all the guys are here yet, but the guys you've assembled that are here, is the 1-2 pitch to Bruns is a curveball that gets away from the backstop of the Collegians. It's 2-2.
Yeah, we went ahead and made a little bit of a change here. Like you said, some of our guys aren't here. One of them is our other catcher. So Mark Goulart kind of taking the brunt of the work. David Neal, normally an outfielder, we decided to bring him in, and we said, hey, who wants to catch? And he jumped in there, and so it's nice to have those kind of guys who will do anything for you.
That's what I was just trying to figure out, who was the backstop, because I noticed Goulart had switched positions, but I do know there is not another catcher on the roster as of right now. But more exciting things for the Collegians. We've got the opener for league play tomorrow night here at Scott Carpenter Park. That's at 6:30, and we've got a special promotion for that game, Matt.
Yeah, we're really excited to be working with some big-time performers that are from here in Boulder. They do a lot of kids' performances, Paige and Jeff, and they focus most of their performances, which are song and dance and getting everybody involved, about sustainability and the environment and hiking, and it's such a great educational thing to bring to my daughter goes to it, and she has a blast. So to combine the things that I love, baseball and kids in this community, it's going to be a great event.
This one's lined towards left field, gets over the first baseman, Danny David Lindham, third baseman, and this one's in single with one out for the Browns. That one's Bruns, and coming up to bat is the second baseman, Trent Cutler. Matt, and then after that, not only is the home opener exciting, not home opener, but league opener tomorrow night at home here at Scott Carpenter Park. But after that, this weekend and early next week, the Collegians are doing something very exciting.
Absolutely. We're heading down to Arizona. This year we were blessed with, almost, in fact, over double the amount of home dates that we had normally been. So I reached out to as many teams in the country as I can to get them up here to play us. This Arizona League asked us to come down there, and we wanted to jump on that opportunity.
This one's going to go as a straight steal by the shortstop Bruns. I was just asked on the broadcast or on YouTube this question, and while I have you, how many uniform combinations do we have this year here in Boulder?
Well, that's a good one. Well, we have I'm not the math guy, but we have four uniforms and 3 hats. I'm a big time gear guy. I like uniforms. I like my guys looking good, and so that's one of the ways that we actually try and recruit players is, guys like gear too. So we want them out there looking good, feeling good, and playing good. And so I don't know, 4 uniforms with 3 hats is kind of a good number of different combinations we have there.
Well, as the old saying goes, look good, feel good, play good. We came from the same school of baseball, literally Boulder High. This one's a wild pitch. It'll get through the new catcher for the Collegians. Some work being done, and this is the perfect time to do it in an exhibition game. But to your point, that's 7 different combinations times 2 because white and gray pants, and that's 14. So 14 different combinations of uniforms this year for the Collegians.
I think that might be. I think we might set the record for college summer ball with those.
This one is a check swing. It'll be fouled off someone's leg. I don't know if that was the catcher or the batter. Either way, we're at 2-2 now.
Other defensive changes that we have around the infield, DH Mark Taylor moves over to first base, pushing Gabe Gioso out to right field, and DH Marcus Altman will move from right field to left.
The old double DH conundrum. This one's fouled off on the pitch from Clausen.
It's nice to see Coach Senna in an early game really trying to get guys in, a variety of players. Again, we don't know these guys yet. We haven't seen them play. I mean, we had our exhibition scrimmage game down in the Colorado Springs a couple days ago, so we did get a good look at some of the guys. But again, that level of competition wasn't what we're going to see all year long. So there's still a lot of question marks out there. So these are the kind of games where, especially with pitching, you want to see what these guys have. You want to see if they're going to be in the zone and if you can count on them to throw strikes, because really that's the key to the game here this summer. With the number of pitchers that we have, it's all about throwing strikes, being in the zone. It's a wood bat league. Let's let the hitters get themselves out. If you give up a shot, then get right back out there and get yourself a ground ball.
Neal was able to keep that pitch enough in front of him. He's using Mark Goulart's gear, I've noticed, and this is going to be a 3-2 pitch with 1 out from Clausen. This one swung on and foul, bunted by the on-deck batter. That does not count, but it was a beauty of a bunt. Matt, that was your brother who asked that question, and he said, I was just kidding. I know you're not good at math.
He does know that, yes. But on that gear you mentioned there, that's actually the Collegians gear. That's the red, white, and blue all-star catcher's gear.
Clausen's 3-2 pitch. That's a curveball in for a strike, looking a beauty from Clausen.
Clausen just actually got out here. He's one of the guys that was out in the Junior College World Series. Both of the team, the guys that we had 5 guys and 2 different teams, and both those teams unfortunately went 2-Q. And it's one of those ones where Clausen actually called one of our players during the scrimmage the other day and said that they were dropping him off from the team bus in Colorado Springs. So it's good to see Nick out there and see what he can do. He's quite a personality, actually.
Clausen's first pitch to Brown is a strike, fastball on the inside half. Yeah, those pitcher-only guys, I've already met a few yesterday at the media day. They are I don't know if they're a delight. This one swung on to left. This one's crushed, gets back, and it'll one-hop the fence. Brown's going to hop into second with an RBI double as the Collegians throw this ball back into the infield.
Nice little stroke there. I believe, I don't know what, I've been watching with the home opener as the GM. You don't get to watch every single game, so but every time I take a look, it seems like that guy's stroking the ball.
Brown's got a homer and a double tonight. He's 2 for 4 total. And Matt Jarebker steps back to the plate, who is 1 for 3. He's got a double, an RBI double in the first inning.
We talked a little yesterday about media day, shagging fly balls in the outfield, and how a lot of these guys are not from this altitude, and how they've been adjusting to the ball off of the bat during batting practice, hitting the ball, seeing it elevate and seeing it hang up there a little bit longer in altitude. And I think you saw that there with Altman out in left field, tried to get a read on it. Again, the sun setting over the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and just got over his head. Huggins,
I think that was going to get over his head no matter what. The 1-0 pitch from Clausen swung through, and it's 1-1.
So Drebker here actually is a guy that I played ball with. Matt, former Metro State Roadrunner, played with him for several years on the Colorado Reds, and one of the things you always knew you were going to get from Matt is a good swing. This guy can really swing it. And he's a couple years older. I think he might be 40 years old, but this guy can still play the game.
Collegians leading 14-6 in the top of the 8th. Browns at the plate. This is Matt Jarebker against Nick Clausen. This pitch is fouled back, and Jarebker lost his bat in the process. Comes back to the screen. Everyone's okay. Jarebker will go back maybe for some more pine tar. You know, Matt, we see your great jerseys. The Browns have some unique ones, some good ones. I was thinking that maybe Boulder Collegians might have some of those Astro-type jerseys from the 80s. What about those ideas?
You know, I actually thought about that. It was a toss-up, actually, between that and the baby blues that we have now, kind of the old St. Louis Cardinals baby blues jerseys. And in fact, one of our coaches actually wanted us to get baby blue pants as well, but not as many combinations as you can work with that. But the baby blues look great. That's definitely a player favorite. But today was definitely my call. Every opening day, I like the guys going all white, and especially this year we got the new white and red hats. And you know, I like being nice and clean at home with the white.
The 1-1 pitch is a ball that goes low. Neal having some issues here. Don't know how much catching experience he does have, but not listed as a catcher on the roster. And you say that's at the collegiate catching gear, but he is wearing Mark Goulart's helmet because it's got a St. Mary's logo on it.
Well, we provide the full hockey mask for the guys. It's kind of a little bit more safe. But the guys are, you know, they can wear whatever gear they want, and most of the catchers still, they really like to go back to that old school face mask still.
I feel unsafe when I wear that, and this one's lined down the line in left field. It'll go foul off the bat, off to Jarebker, who's having a nice at-bat here.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna spin the turntables here on you guys. We got this new broadcasting team here. You know, Jake, you've done a lot of broadcasting. Patrick here, kind of just starting to get into things. I'd like to know what you guys are excited about, what your expectations are this summer. What are you thinking about this summer so far, Jake?
Well, I'm liking the talent of this team. It's a good group of guys. I had a lot of fun yesterday in the outfield shagging balls with them and interviewing a couple of them as Jarebker is going to walk here, and it'll bring up Huggins to the plate with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Collegians leading 14-6. And I love being around – these guys are my age, and I love being around a good group of guys, and these guys are – it seems like you've done a great job of assembling not just the same type of guy, you know, whether that's from Temple College or Fort Hays State, but they all seem to have their own personality. You've picked a few from every college here and there, and you have a great mix. I was out there in the outfield talking to some guys, and one's from Las Vegas, one's from California, one's from Boulder, you know, and you get some different perspectives, and I like that, and I think that's the sign of a good baseball team, guys that all don't think the same way and can have a conversation. And I'm really looking forward to see how these guys mesh the next week, not only tonight and tomorrow,
Absolutely.
but in Arizona, and getting to know more about these guys, because as you said, we don't know these guys, and I certainly don't either, and I'm not going to pretend to just yet.
Well, I'm glad that you noticed that, and you know, that's from no fault of mine that we have different personalities out there.
The 2-0 pitch is lined towards left. It's going to get out of play, and it's a foul ball. 2-1 from Clausen.
But you know, again, I'm recruiting mostly based on guys that coaches send me, and so you don't get to pick a guy that you can say, hey, basically, here's what I say: I want a grinder. I want somebody who's going to be there for the whole season, and that's been our biggest struggle. Every year we put together a group of guys that game one, it seems like we're ready. I mean, which is why I'm glad that you guys are excited, but I also want to, you know, create a little bit more of a realistic approach that, hey, there's a long season to go, and we want to, you know, make sure that go ahead, ground ball.
Brown takes off for third, ground ball to second, and that's going to get the Collegians out of the inning here and be the third out. Bottom of the 8th, we'll head. Collegians leading 14-6. We'll stick right here during this in-between inning break. Go ahead, Matt.
You just don't have a lot of opportunity to find out exactly who these guys are. You can ask a coach. You can say, hey, you know, I want a good quality guy, but a lot of times coaches are trying to get their guys placed, and you know, sometimes you do get smoke blown where the sun don't shine, and you don't know what you're going to get. And so as we've started to grow and learn what programs are going to send us quality guys, like a great example, St. Mary's, solid Division I program, and for the last few years, we've gotten 1 to 2 solid baseball players from that program every single year. And that coach is communicative. We respond to him, he responds to us, and that's the kind of relationship we want to build with college level coaches. And I'm really excited about Eddie Toledo this year as our pitching coach, because again, pitching's been one of our weak points over the last few years. And so Eddie told me, he said, hey, I want every single coach's phone number, I want their email address, and I want to reach out to those guys so that I can start asking them, what do you want from this guy? What can we do to help you? And I really think that just that phone call is going to go a long way with the players and the coaches that we have on this squad this year, of getting better players and consistently getting players over the years. And so that's kind of our focus, and make sure the guys have a great summer, stay healthy, get their reps in, and go back ready to play in the fall.
This is a great city to make memories in, as both you and I know, being Boulder kids. And I think when you're playing summer baseball, certainly you want to improve as a player. Certainly you want to have a good season. But I think playing summer baseball, what comes first is making memories. And some of the best memories I have being around baseball in the summer, or some of the best memories of my life, is being around baseball in the summer.
Well, definitely. Good memories are a byproduct of setting up a good team, a good schedule, having a good home atmosphere, all of that stuff put together that we do hopefully every year. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from guys over the years that it was one of the best summers of their life.
Taylor Riley plunks Danny David Linhan, takes it on the buttocks, and we'll move on to first base, leaving to they're going to skip Altman here, I believe, and just go straight to we got a pinch hitter. Sorry. We do have Marcus Altman. I have Marcus's Altman number written wrong. I'm sorry.
Altman 0 for 3 on the night, looking for his first hit.
This is Nico Nitze.
You talked a little bit about the relationships you have with the programs, as well as the relationships with the players that they have with one another. And Matt, you've done a great job with selecting these host families, that these players, of course, they're young college guys. Some of them are going to need to work summer jobs this year.
Second pitch is a ball, 2-0 now on Altman.
So getting some nice room and board is real key for them, and we've met them all yesterday, and you had a wonderful event at the Fouts family home, and I got to talk with them, and they're all really nice kids.
This one is fouled off. It'll be 2-1 for Riley against Altman.
Jake talked a little bit about them having those different personalities, but they're all really respectful. And I know you talked to them yesterday during media day about showing that respect and showing that appreciation for those host families and for the city, really, and being ambassadors to the city of Boulder and for us here. And I think they've done a wonderful job of that so far.
Curve ball taken for a ball. It's now 3-1 on Altman.
Absolutely. And it's not me that chooses the host family. It's the host family that chooses us. And, the hope is that they want to do it again because, again, the memories and the good experience. But like you said, this is every year we meet our guys to start with, and there are a couple of guys that you actually look at, and there's nothing wrong with them to start with, but you can just kind of tell that guy might be a problem. That guy might be an issue in the dugout. Might have to worry about him. And this year, every single guy on this squad has been extremely respectful. They're excited to be here, and I think they're going to mesh really well. Hey, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your day.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this place cleaned up for us here, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thanks, Matt. Altman walks, and Meadows at the plate. 1 ball on Meadows from Riley. Riley in his second inning of work. Meadows takes a strike. It's 1-1.
As you mentioned, Riley's in his second inning of work, gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. Got himself in another jam here with runners on first and second.
This one, time was called before there was a pitch. Meadows steps out, and we'll see the 1-1 once again.
Meadows not too happy in his last at bat when he struck out in the bottom of the 6th. Looking for his 3rd hit of the game after an infield single and a nice base hit to right center.
Riley's 1-1, and that's a curveball that drops a bit too low.
14-6 Collegians here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Last chance for Collegian batters to get a few more hits under their belt.
Meadows takes this one foul behind the first base dugout. 2 for 4. He's got 2 singles on the afternoon. And Meadows getting ready for this 2-2 pitch. Riley struggled, as you said, Patrick, last inning. Allowed 3 runs. Collegians having a big day at the plate.
Linehan with the hit by pitch and Altman with the walk are the final 2 batters to get on base for the Collegian. Every Collegian player up and down this 10-man lineup has reached base.
Yeah,
today.
not only were they the last 2 batters to reach base, they were the last 2 batters, or final, as you said, final batters of the game that needed to reach base in order to accomplish that feat. 3-2 now on Meadows, the Alcorn State product from Atlanta, Georgia. It's a redshirt freshman, 6'1", 185 pounds, and he swings through this ball. Strike 3 by Riley, who has a grin on his face, as Nitze will step to the plate with 2 guys on.
Number 4, Nico Nitze.
Lefty on lefty matchup here. Nico did well to get a single in the bottom of the 4th off the original starting pitcher, Riley, Steve Riley.
Nitze will take a curveball that drops in on the corner for a strike. Exactly. We've gotten a couple Rileys in this game. Steve Riley opened up the game. Now it's Taylor Riley throwing for the Browns. Riley's second pitch is a ball just a bit high. Didn't get the bottom of the strike zone. Or didn't get the top of the strike zone. Didn't bottom out the way he had wanted it to. And Riley back in there. Getting ready for his second pitch. That one is fouled off behind us. And it's 0-2 on the Collegians. Center fielder, Nitze.
1-2 again, the scoreboard. We're got some wonderful volunteers up there doing some great job. Shout out to Jesse Gannon, who's working the camera for us today.
We have plenty of tasks, but maybe I'll have to have you add a clicker to your task list. I have one sitting in my car, of course. And this one is a pop-up infield fly rule in effect, and it'll be the second out of the inning. Collegians at risk of stranding first and second with no outs. 2 outs now, and Bryce Bullock stepping to the plate. Bullock from UNLV. Right-handed batter, wears number 24. Rangy outfielder.
24.
You mentioned Bryce being from Las Vegas, second most famous Bryce in Las Vegas. Well, from Las Vegas. Bryce Harper, of course, being the first.
Bryce was even joking about that with us yesterday, saying that every time he's around and someone says Bryce, he is talking about Bryce Harper, not him.
Yeah, apparently in the off-season, Harper likes to go back to Las Vegas, do a little bit of training, and occasionally Bryce Bullock will come into the clubhouse and see Bryce Harper just chilling on one of the couches or in the weight room.
1-1. Bullock will take a ball, 2-1.
Waiting on deck, the first base right fielder, Gabe Gioso, who has yet to have been retired today.
I'm sorry, it was a 3-0, and now it's a walk. The scoreboard has lost track of the game a bit here. Gabe Gioso stepping to the plate with the bases loaded. He has a double, a single, and 2 walks in this contest. Thankfully for the Browns, Addison Kosh is not at the plate, who's already hit 1 grand slam. The Collegians will be seeking a second grand slam here.
Gioso came to the plate in the bottom of the first with the bases loaded and hit himself a 2-run double. Let's see if he has the same luck here against another left-handed pitcher, also named Riley.
14-6 Collegians, bottom of the 8th, as Knight has taken hold here in Boulder. The first pitch is a fastball high that rattles the back of the cage here, and nobody will advance on that one with the short backstop. Knight has definitely taken a hold. The lights are the main source of light instead of the sun, which is set just about 30 minutes ago in Boulder, Colorado. This was a 6:05 start. It's 8:38 in the evening right now. Taylor Riley, the left-hander for the Browns, with his left hand hanging over his pitching pose, and this one is a ball outside, 2-0, as Gabe Gioso, with the bases loaded, is waiting for a pitch to hit.
You don't want to walk Gioso here and give the Collegians a free run. Let's see what he brings to the plate.
The 2-0, it catches the top of the strike zone. Gioso was taking all the way, and Riley back into the battle. Riley from the stretch, looking in for his sign. Comes set. Riley checks on a runner, then throws. This one's in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, and it'll be 3-1 to Gabe Gioso.
On deck, number 20, Dave Neal, who homered in his last at-bat last inning. Has 4 RBIs on the day so far.
Bases loaded, 3-1. Gioso swings through this ball, tried to hit it all the way on to 30th Street, and did not catch any of it. Now with 2 outs and the 3-2 pitch, the runners will be going against Riley and the Browns. Riley comes set, deals. Gioso sits and waits and will take ball 4.
Should be noted that Dave Neal is just a triple short of the cycle here. Obviously the hardest one to get. Not the hardest state to hit a triple for the cycle. Jake, as you well know, Coors Field has the largest outfield in all of Major League Baseball. 17 cycles have been hit at Coors Field.
We saw a triple last inning from Addison Kosh. He's done the 2 hard parts of the cycle, a home run and a triple. And this one, the first pitch taken for a strike from Riley against Neal. Neal moved to catcher last inning, had some struggles there, but the Collegians only have 1 catcher on the roster as of now. Riley on the 0-1 pitch. Takes a ball, 1-1. Neal on the night. He's got those 3 hits. He's 3 for 4 with the strikeout. Has improved in every at-bat, as I mentioned, before he hit the home run last inning. It was a 2-run home run, a 2-run RBI double, and a single in which he scored. He's scored in 2 of his 4 plate appearances. Neal, the right-hander, against Riley, the lefty. Comes set, deals. Curveball in the dirt. Be 2-1 with the bases loaded. Collegians leading 15-6 in the bottom of the 8th.
Once you hit a home run, it's hard to do much more than that, but I would think a triple here for the cycle with the bases loaded would be considered a slight improvement. I'm stretching here a little bit, I think.
2-1. This one fouled off to the right side behind the first base dugout of the Browns.
Hit the dumpster. Not a car, don't worry.
Good to see the Buffs football team in the house tonight. Hey. Kidding.
I get it.
Yeah, it was good. It was not good. It was in poor taste. I like the Buffs. I love the Buffs.
CU Boulder, of course, got it started in 1876.
2-2 from Riley. This one inside. It'll be 3-2 once more.
1876, Colorado became a state. We got our university. We had 1 building, 2 faculty members, only 44 students at the university, and no football team.
And in 2018, they let this guy graduate.
Much like today.
Taylor Riley's 3-2 pitch. This one grounded towards the shortstop. Slow roller. Shortstop charges, throws across the diamond, and
Messenger could not dig it up.
Neal is safe at first. Messenger couldn't hold on to the bag. And I believe the Collegians are going to call 10-run rule here. Yes, they will. Collegians win 16-6. Bottom of the 8th, we have a final with 2 outs here in Boulder, Colorado.
Because of the 10-run rule,
Patrick, we'll see the Boulder Collegians play at 6:30 tomorrow night.
Final score,
that'll be the opening game of Rocky Mountain Baseball League. And we'll be back here for that. As Matt mentioned, we've got some wonderful promotions that you can check out here. $5 for a general admission ticket.
Have a pleasant evening. Get home safely. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's a good night for Boulder Collegians as they win 16-6 on a 10-run rule.
For Patrick Lyons and our cameraman tonight, Jesse Gannon, I am Jake Shapiro. Collegians win 16-6 at their home opener here in Boulder, Colorado at Scott Carpenter Park. We'll see you tomorrow night for Collegians baseball. First pitch, 6:30. We'll have the action right here on YouTube once more. You can follow the Boulder Collegians page on YouTube and like and subscribe. Make sure to do that so you can be reminded about the next Boulder Collegians broadcast. We'll see you then. Can't wait.